Hi everyone, I wanted to do another quick tips video today to talk about something that pops up all the time in the support chat, and that is how do you keep things from coming off of your body when you add new things through wardrobe. And this is the same concept as the difference between adding and wearing inside the viewer. And we can set wardrobe up to basically do the same thing, to add new things to our body without replacing things that are already there. This issue pops up because each of our avatars is made up of a set of attachment points. And when we add or wear something on our body, it gets attached to one of those points. And if something is already there, you need to tell the viewer whether or not you want to add a new item on that attachment point, or if you want to replace the items that are on that attachment point with the new thing. And most of the time we want to add. The best example of this, like I said, is shoes. So we have, a lot of us have mesh feet now, and they're on one particular attachment point. And a lot of times the shoes that you buy for those feet are on the same attachment point. And so if you choose to replace the items on that attachment point, your feet will disappear and you'll be wearing shoes without feet. Sometimes you might want that. Some boots, for example, prefer not to use the feet, but most of the time you want your feet to still be there. So let's look at how we can set this up in wardrobe in two different ways. And the first way is to set the global preference. We do that in our wardrobe by coming up to Preferences and switching to the Dressing tab. Okay. And right here is our choices. It says quick dress defaults. Do we want to replace layers and attachments or add to layers and attachments? Okay. So what we generally want to do is add. Okay. And this is probably the best option globally to choose. You can always override this on individual outfits. Alright, you can also choose the same thing for base outfits to choose add or replace. With base outfits, this is an important piece, especially if you have more than one alpha layer. Let's say maybe you have one alpha for your body and a separate alpha for your head. If you have two alphas and you choose replace, you're only going to end up with one of them when you're done. Okay, so you want to have add there. Alright, so this is where we go into Preferences and to the Dressing tab to do it as sort of a default for all of wardrobe. But let's take a look at an individual item. So I've got all my formal dresses here, and I'm just going to go ahead and click the pencil icon next to one of them. And I can switch again over to the Dressing tab. Here's the default description. Here's the Dressing tab. And on here, you can choose your wearing policy. Okay, so you can leave it by the default, which is however we just set it in Preferences, or you can say I want to replace or I want to add. And so let's say you did have the default set to add, but you had a pair of boots that required you to not have your feet on anymore. You could choose in the boots the wearing policy set to replace. And then this would work when you wore this one item. So there's a couple of different places that you can work with this at, but again, it's a very simple setting. A lot of people ask about it, and it's a good one to get set early on, especially if you plan to use RLV to dress yourself with wardrobe. Anyway, I hope you found this tip useful. If you did, subscribe to the channel and like the video, and of course leave any comments with questions or thoughts you have about CTS wardrobe or anything else relating to Second Life. I'll talk to you soon.